Welcome back to the Civil Rights Lawyer channel. Imagine that you pull into a Buc-ees in Texas and you just want to get some gas. So you pull up to the gas pump and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes a police officer who begins to berate you for what he says was you speeding through the Buc-ees parking lot and, in his opinion, almost hitting some car. And then he begins to protect and serve you, basically. And when you don't sufficiently respect his authority, he then arrests you just for merely criticizing him. This brings up some interesting issues, including whether a police officer can decide to cite you or arrest you just because he thinks that you might do something in the future. What constitutional rights do I see being violated here? Watch the footage and then we'll discuss.
Hey, before I'm stepping out of traffic at Buc-ees. Don't walk up to my car, please. What? Don't walk up to my car, please. Hey, man, you can't drive through a parking lot like that. You got your driver's license insurance? Any weapons in the car I need to worry about?
Any weapons in the car that I need to know about. This is how you know that you're dealing with a tyrant, with somebody who does not respect your constitutional rights, somebody who clearly has no respect for the Second Amendment rights, the natural rights that we all have. If you hear a police officer say this, understand who you're dealing with.
Is there any particular reason why you felt you needed to come through the parking lot like that?
I didn't think I did anything wrong. I just came over to get gas.
You were speeding and you cut through parking spaces. You know you can't do that.
Interest will be confirmed on Robert.
I didn't think I was doing anything, man.
You
all
whooped
I'm
around.
doing is coming to get gas.
Yeah. Oh, are we gonna go back and forth, or are you just gonna?
You asked me a question. You want me to answer it or not? I'm not.
Okay.
If anything, I thought I was going even slower than normal.
No, sir.
Because normally people don't even park where you park, and that's the direct path to the gas pumps.
Through the parking spaces is the direct.
I do realize that. I know that there's parking spaces there.
And you almost hit that car that was turning right there. I was watching, man. As soon as you cut in front of me like that, I was like looking and I watched it happen. So
I come here every day. There's almost never, ever, ever anybody. You were sitting there this morning. Now, last week for about 3 days, someone was parking there. But if I come here 365 days a year, which I do, there's someone sitting there maybe 10 times. So there's never ever a car there. So yeah, I go through there because it's the straight path from the entryway to here, which is what you're going to see everybody else do it. But I mean, I hear you, man. I got it. To you, it looked like I was going fast. To me, I thought I was going even slower than normal because I didn't want to get too close to you.
Now remember, there's a difference between what you have the right to do and what's in your best interest to do. Sometimes those are not the same thing. First thing I see here is that this guy is just talking too much. Remember that you're dealing, again, with this tyrant who has no respect for your rights. He wants to invade your privacy. He wants to violate your constitutional rights. He's not there to help you. He's from the government. Don't even talk to him. He asked for your registration, whatever. Give it to him. Keep your mouth shut. Get the body cam footage later.
okay. So
I'm not kidding to you either, man. I come here every day, dude.
I'm not.
I send pictures of my wife the price of the gas here every day when I come through.
Okay, look.
So anyway.
Here's the deal, man. Okay, I'm not gonna go back and forth and all that. I'm not gonna write you tickets, but the only reason I'm not writing you tickets is because I'm out of tickets right now. Okay, otherwise you would be receiving a citation.
For what?
Okay.
What did the citation? I'm just curious.
Disregarding traffic control device.
On private property?
Yes.
Okay.
You still can't do that. It's still illegal.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm not gonna write you a ticket.
I hear you, man. I understand.
I don't appreciate the attitude. Two, I get it. You're upset. Nobody likes cops pulling up on them. Nobody likes it. Okay, but you know you did wrong. You know you're not supposed to cut through the parking lot. And instead of being like, "Oh yeah, I messed up. Sorry, it won't happen again," you want to sit here and go back and forth with me, right?
There's a lot better things than this to be doing for you, man.
You're right. I was working on a report.
You can be over here, and there's people right now running 90 miles an hour on the thing.
You want to go to jail?
So
you want to go to jail? You could go to jail for this.
So the guy wasn't going to go to jail for this because that's not the sort of thing that people go to jail for, just like jaywalking. The officer expects him to apologize basically for what the officer thinks that he's done. And instead of apologizing, the guy criticizes the officer. And then he says, well, do you want to go to jail? You can go to jail for this.
You can do what you want to do. I can't stop
I
you.
don't want to take you to jail.
No.
That is definitely a waste of my time. Okay, but the attitude is not necessary.
I agree.
That's on your part, sir. I haven't been rude to you at all.
Opinion's that's fine.
I have a camera on. I can't be rude to you.
Okay. All right.
I will get in trouble. You go file a complaint. Based on my behavior, they will decide whether or not to get me in trouble. Write me up.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. We're good, man.
Okay. All right, well, I'll make sure that I'm there all the time. If I see it happen again, then we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
All right?
I'll look that law up on private property, too. I don't believe you'd have the authority to do anything here on this parking lot like that.
I could also take you to jail for Class B reckless driving. Or Class A reckless driving. Because you did almost hit that car.
I didn't almost hit anybody. I was nowhere near. There's cameras everywhere. You can do what you want to do, Harold. I can't stop you. If you want to be this way, then that's up to you. I'm trying to be a reasonable person.
Are you having a bad day, sir? Is there a reason why you're acting like this?
I'm having a bad day because you're
doing
this to me.
Have I raised my voice to you at all, sir? You're the only one who's getting upset.
I'm upset because I think this is ridiculous. I think this whole thing is ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous.
What do you think is ridiculous?
That we're even talking about nothing happened, and here we are talking, and you're threatening to take me to jail.
No,
and so I shouldn't be getting upset.
I don't call it a threat, sir.
No, it's a threat. That is a threat. You're threatening me under color of law now to take something on private property, which I don't believe you even have the authority to do.
It's a dictionary term, sir.
Okay.
It comes from black laws.
No, it's not. It's a Class A
dictionary.
misdemeanor for you to threaten or arrest me over something that you know is not really true. But that's okay.
What's the penal code on that, sir?
The phrase under color of law really triggered this police officer. He wants a citation. I mean, actually, the guy's not wrong. Federal law, Title 18 United States Code, Section 242, makes it a crime to deprive any person of his civil rights under color of law. So these are from the actual jury instructions I went through in a different video. For a jury to find a defendant guilty, federal prosecutors must prove that 1, the defendant acted under color of law, acting as a police officer. Okay, he's doing that here. And 2, most importantly, the defendant deprived the victim of a right secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States. Here, possibly the First Amendment. And if that's the case, because there's no bodily injury to the arrestee, at least not yet, it would be a misdemeanor under federal law.
Trust me. That's okay.
Trust you.
Okay. We're good.
Trust you.
We're good.
I don't feel like we are. I feel like this is this is a problem.
How is it a problem?
I feel like you're going to continue to commit these behaviors that are unsafe and put people at risk.
So
you don't feel like you did anything
for
wrong.
Something that's possible they may do in the future. So now we're playing Jean-Claude Van Damme Future Cop, and you need to stop me from something I may do in the future. That's now your position. You're feeling like you should take action because maybe sometime in the future I might possibly continue to do something. Come on.
What is the law designed to do, sir?
Oh, I know you want
designed
compliance.
to stop people from doing things that they're not supposed to be doing.
I know you want voluntary compliance.
Okay, go ahead and put your hands on the command.
Wow.
1717 Lakeside Drive, female, wanted to make call with a gray shirt and a white undershirt with camel pants, black hat.
Well, this guy is just a one-man government, isn't he? He's a one-man legislature. What is the law trying to achieve? Well, actually, that has no relevance here. All that is relevant is whether or not you have reasonable suspicion to detain the guy in the first place, and if you're going to make an arrest, whether or not you have probable cause to make this warrantless arrest. It doesn't matter what you think the law is trying to achieve. It doesn't matter what's happening or may happen in the future.
The other male's going to be a little bit shorter with a black shirt, black boots, fitting pants, just kicked in the front door.
We'll do this a different way then.
I have an injury on my left arm.
Would you like 2 sets of handcuffs?
No, my head hurts.
Okay, we can do
There's
2
a big
sets of
scar
handcuffs.
right there, God.
I know, we can do 2 sets of handcuffs.
Cannot believe you're doing this.
Well, sir, I'm concerned that you're going to continue to do this unsafe behavior. So,
I'm familiar
I'll see.
with the residence. Has no water.
You want 2 sets of handcuffs?
This hurts, man. It hurts.
I can do 2 sets of handcuffs. You
I
want to do 2
cannot
sets of-
believe that you're doing this, dude.
Well, I mean, it didn't have to go this way.
No, it never did. None of this ever needed to happen, I don't believe.
Okay, well, I disagree with you.
Okay, I know.
What would you like me to do with your car? You want to call somebody or do I tow it?
Do we really need to do this, Harold?
I mean, I didn't think we did.
I didn't think that we did either, sir. Man.
Okay, but I mean, you wanted to sit here and argue with me about what I observed with my own eyes. Okay, I'll go get a copy of the video.
I didn't think we were close, Harold, at all. I didn't
Not
think
me.
I was close
You
to
didn't hit
anyone.
almost
No,
me.
you're talking about
You
the white
hit another
truck.
vehicle. Yes, you even know what truck I was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What? I didn't think we were close, sir. I really didn't.
no, you were very close. They had to slam on their brakes. I watched it happen. Okay, you came flying through the parking lot. Okay. So what are we gonna do about the car?
I didn't think I was going that far.
You certainly were, sir. You definitely were. Okay? You definitely were. Okay, so what are we gonna do with the car? I don't want to tow it because that'd be being a real dick, and I'm trying not to be the dick. Okay, what would you like me to do with the car, sir?
What does this remind you of? A parent dealing with a child. He is telling him, these are the punishments, the consequences that I am going to inflict on you, but all you have to do is apologize. All you have to do is kiss the ring. All you have to do is bend a knee and respect my authority and thank me for my mercy. And I won't be a dick to you. I won't tow your car. I don't have to arrest you.
I'm going to ask one more time, and then I'm going to have it towed.
Can we back this down, dude? Can we cool off here, please? I'm
It's-
sorry. I will.
You have forced my hand at this
I
point.
will.
Because if I don't go and see this through to its conclusion, I know you're going to go to the police department and file a complaint on me.
I'm not
Now, the
gonna do
complaint's
that,
not
sir.
going to do anything because I have it all on video. Everything is recorded. I don't talk to anyone in the public unless I have my camera on. Okay?
I'm not gonna go
So-
complain to Harold at all. I'm just a little upset because I really, honestly,
Sir, I watched it happen.
from
I was
my-
working on a
from
report.
my
I
point of view,
definitely have better things to
I
do.
didn't think that I did anything, Harold. I didn't think I did anything.
Well,
and
a
it was
lot
very
of people
frustrating.
don't think that. But I explained it to you, and then you wanted to argue with me.
Because I didn't think I did anything, Harold. And
I know I look young.
I
This is
still-
not my first day on the job, sir. I promise
It's
you.
nothing to do with any of that. I didn't think I did anything.
You
And I was
almost
trying
hit
to-
that white truck.
I agree with you that that's what you think. Then there's nothing I can do to change
It's
your point of
going to
view.
be on the cameras. I'm going to get copies of it.
I didn't think I did anything. It was frustrating for me to try to explain to you that I didn't think that I did anything, and you're not hearing me.
I hear you, sir. I disagree with you. So what do we want to do with the truck or with the car?
I'll have to call my wife, I guess.
Okay, well, let's call her. Where's your phone?
It's it's in my pocket. I just got through sending her the message about the.
Okay. Well, how about I'm going to give you another set of handcuffs because, like I said, I understand if you got... Hold on, let me stick this thing right here.
What am I being arrested for, Harold?
Disregarding traffic control device. Because a reckless driving charge is a much, much higher charge. And, again, like I said, I don't want to be that big of a dick. Any firearms in the car I need to know about? Or anything like that?
No, dude, I don't do anything.
Okay. Well, it's not illegal to have a firearm, sir.
True.
I have multiple ones in
I understand.
various cars.
Put this phone in the car for her. So
I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it.
there's another phone right there.
I'll get it. I'll take care of it. We're gonna put another one on so your back's not hurting. So you want this phone left in the car and the other phone coming with you?
Yes, sir.
Where's it at?
It's right there. We'll see about the parking brake.
He came, so I was sitting right there, and he came through the parking lot and cut through all the spaces, and he came through so fast and whooped into here, and there was a white truck. The white truck had to slam on its brakes, so I come over here. I was just gonna be like, hey man, chill out. Like, chill out, don't be like that. But he wanted to go back and forth and argue with me and give me all kinds of stuff. And, like, I didn't have any tickets and I didn't grab a rider this morning. So I was like, man, look, it didn't have to go this way. He kept going back and forth, back and forth. So I was like, all right, let's go.
You got something like that in your car?
Yeah, I was gonna be. I'm a dick, but I'm not gonna be that big of a dick. I don't know this guy at all. I don't know anything about him. But he kept wanting to go back and forth, and argue, and I was like, if I had a ticket book, I'd have just written him a ticket. Okay, I'm gonna do this a different way. So the other officer has a ticket book he's gonna let me use. You're gonna be receiving a citation, okay? And because I think going to jail is a bit excessive. But, well, I agree with you, but I didn't have another option. I don't have another ticket book, and I don't have a ticket writer with me. So we're going to do it that way, okay? Step out for me.
Didn't have another option. I'm pretty sure he had another option. Pretty sure it was an option not to put the guy in handcuffs. It was an option not to harass the guy in the first place while he's trying to get gas at Buc-ees. He should have just continued to sit there in his car. That was an option, to continue bilking the taxpayers out of money while he's doing whatever he's doing, surfing the internet, supposedly writing reports, sitting in his police car, instead of out actually doing something that the public thinks the police officers they employ ought to be doing.
God almighty.
Take your time.
Tighten up. Oh my God.
Well,
Dude, listen to that. It presses that scar, man, it hurts. Or motorcycle.
Turn this way. Corey Schultz no longer in custody. Okay, I see you sign right here. It's not a admission of guilt.
Repeat your last.
Mr. Scholl is no longer in custody. It's not an admission of guilt, it's just a promise you'll contact the court on or before the date and time that's written on here. You can contact the court at the bottom here, the information's there, and also up there. Free to go, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, this is classic First Amendment retaliation. We have a First Amendment right to criticize public officials. That's from the U.S. Supreme Court, and that extends to police officers. So we are allowed to criticize police officers. There are even cases saying that we can flip them off, that we can use obscene language with them. We have a right to do this. That's what this guy was doing, is he's exercising his constitutional rights, his First Amendment rights, to criticize this police officer who clearly deserved it. In retaliation for that, whereas he wasn't going to arrest this guy, whereas he never probably has arrested somebody for what this guy's alleged to have done, he's going to put him in handcuffs just to retaliate against him, just to literally chill that exercise of free speech, which is the standard when you sue a police officer for First Amendment retaliation. Here is the big question, though. This is in Texas. Did you see the video that I did with Anya from the Institute for Justice? That is this same issue. That's where Sylvia Gonzalez was arrested in retaliation for exercising her First Amendment rights. And when she tried to sue for it, the Fifth U.S. Court of Appeals said that, well, if there was technically probable cause to arrest you, even though it was in violation of your First Amendment rights, you can't sue. Now, that was a wrong decision, as she explained, and there's a circuit split on that, and it's now at the U.S. Supreme Court. But that's Texas, and this is Texas. So let's look at the issue here. Could this police officer, this agency, escape liability under Section 1983 by claiming that, well, there technically was probable cause to arrest this man? Well, I'm not a Texas lawyer. I'm not licensed in Texas. Don't rely on me for any legal advice out of the state of Texas. But my brief amount of research shows that there are only really a couple things that police officers in Texas can't arrest somebody for. And one of those appears to, according to other lawyers, be speeding. And perhaps that's why the officer brings up reckless driving, because he can't technically arrest him for speeding in a Buc-ees parking lot where he doesn't even know what his speed was, and there's probably not a posted speed limit anyways. So if you look at the reckless driving statute in Texas, that's probably the only thing that could apply. Section 545.401 of the Transportation Code in Texas makes it illegal to drive a vehicle in willful or wanton disregard for the safety of persons or property. Okay, so that is a vague standard. That's still ridiculous that he is just going too fast through a Buc-ees parking lot, and it wasn't going to be reckless driving until he criticized the police officer. So I don't believe that there is even a laughable case of probable cause here. So this is, in my opinion, a very clear civil rights violation, primarily a First Amendment retaliation violation. But there's also what else happened here. Well, he put the guy in handcuffs, put him in the back of a police car. He also violated the Fourth Amendment. While there may have been some reasonable suspicion, I wouldn't even agree to that, but reasonable suspicion to perform a stop here, it was unreasonable to put the guy in handcuffs and put him in the back of the police car, especially for the reasons given. So I think there's a First Amendment violation and probably multiple Fourth Amendment violations. Maybe you ought to, if this appeals to you, exercise your First Amendment rights and reach out and criticize this guy's employer, because this is a bad cop. This is somebody who will do this again, no doubt has done it in the past. Please subscribe both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com, because freedom is scary. Deal with it.